Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. During my previous lecture, we went through comparison of volume of conductor material of the different transmission systems and then tabulated them in a table to have a clear view and comparison of the different systems with respect to their volume of conductor material. However, in today's topic, which is actually the economic choice of a power transmission system, we will check how the different factors affect the economic choice of the power transmission system. How much costly a power transmission system may be if these factors are ignored. There are two major factors that affect the economy of a power transmission system, and these are: number one, the conductor size, and the transmission voltage. As you know, the conductor size, as the conductor size increases, the overall transmission system cost increases, and similarly, as the transmission voltage increases, the conductor size reduces and the overall transmission system cost reduces. Now we have to search a balance among these parameters so that we may be able to have an economic choice of the power transmission system, so that a balanced cost may be obtained. This should not be either on too higher side or on lower side. So we will discuss these two parameters, namely conductor size and transmission voltage, separately. Economic choice of the conductor size. The total cost of the power transmission system can broadly be subdivided into two major chunks. The first one is the annual charge on the capital outlay, and the second one is the annual cost of energy wasted in the conductor. What is the annual charge on the capital outlay? Capital outlay means capital expenditure on the transmission line, means the construction cost, overall construction cost of the transmission line. What does it include? It includes the overall cost of the conductor, its supporting यार मुझे ना इसके साथ वो भी चला लेना चाहिए, हाँ, supporting poles, ये टाइम लिखना चाहिए ना मुझे कि भाई ये कितनी देर बाद जो है ना ये मैं वो कर रहा हूँ. टाइमर भी मुझे लगा लेना चाहिए वैसे साथ. नीचे घड़ी होती है और लेकिन इसमें नज़र नहीं आ रही है मुझे, ताकि मुझे पता चल जाए. मैं मुझे बाद में एडिट करूँगा ना, मुझे थोड़ा सा आसानी रहेगी इसमें.
थोड़ी सी आप बड़ी कर लेते हो तो आप आपका मतलब ये कि आप थोड़ा आगे चल देते हो, आधे घंटे से भी आगे, है ना? अभी तो नहीं है आपके बीच में, अभी तो आपके 5 मिनट भी नहीं हुए.
हाँ, वो तो मुझे भी पता है. तो दोबारा शुरू से रिकॉर्ड करूं? अभी कोई इतना ज़्यादा तो नहीं हुआ है ना?
ना करो, आपको तो फिर इतनी देर लगेगी।
ज़्यादा लग जाएगा देर।
हाँ, अब आप वहीं से कंटिन्यू करो। 4-9 बटन दबाओ।
वो तो ठीक है।
फिर आप ये भूल गए आपने क्या कहा था एंड में।
और मुझे चीज़ों के नाम नहीं आ रहे होते जहन में ना कि भी मैं इसे क्या कहना है।
अबे आप स्टॉप हो ना तो
चलो
आपने-
चुप करो, 1 मिनट, बाबा आगे चल रहा हूँ।
मम्मा की आवाज चली है।
Now we can combine these two expressions, annual charge and the annual cost of energy wasted, to have a combined equation in the form of P1 plus P2 over A. This is the first part, and then P3 over A. This is the second part. So the total annual cost will become P1 plus P2 over A plus P3 over A. This is the total cost. Now, as I said earlier in the start of lecture, that we have to evolve a balanced price, a price that is neither on higher side or nor on the lower side. If we can differentiate this expression to and then put it equal to 0 to have a relationship between the cross-sectional area, this will determine that the overall cost of the will minimum when this differentiation is equal to 0. Now, differentiating this expression with respect to the area of cross section, we find that P1 is constant, so it will be deleted, and P2A will become P2, and differentiating P3 over A will produce minus P3 over A square, and this will be equal to 0. Now P2 is equal to P3 over A square. Just by transferring this P3 over to the right side of the equation, now we can see that P2A is equal to P3A. We have just manipulated it in another way. A square, a part of A remains here and the other is transferred into this. And we once again, if we check it earlier, that is P2A. That was the variable part associated with the annual charge in the capital outlay, and P3A was the annual cost of energy wasted in the conductor. So we can say that P2 over A variable part of annual charge is equal to annual cost of energy wasted. This is the Kelvin's law, known as the Kelvin's law. Kelvin stated that Lord Kelvin stated that we can have a economical choice of the conductor if the variable part of the annual charge is equal to the annual cost of energy wasted. Therefore, the Kelvin's law can also be stated in another way, that is, the most economical area of conductor is that for which the variable part of the annual charge is equal to the cost of the losses per year. Now let's go through an example to have a better understanding of the Kelvin's law. In the example 7.7, which states a two-conductor cable 1 kilometer long is required to supply a constant current of 200 amperes throughout the year. The cost of the cable including the installation is rupees 20A plus 20 per meter, where A is the cross-sectional area of the conductor in centimeters square. The cost of energy is 5p per kilowatt hour, 5 pesos, and interest and the depreciation charges amount to 10%. Calculate the most economical conductor size. Assume the resistivity of the conductor material to be 1.73. In this example, we have to calculate the most economical conductor size. As we know that according to Kelvin's law, P3A is equal to P3 over A is equal to P2A, that is variable annual energy charge is equal to annual cost of energy lost. So we will first calculate the total energy lost in a year, and then we will have its total worth or value in rupees, and then we will also calculate the total cost of the conductor over the line, and then equating both expressions we will get the cross-sectional area. Now resistance of one conductor is equal to rho L over A. Resistance is the formula. R is equal to rho L over A. Resistivity has already been given. It is 1.73 into 10 raised to power minus 6. Then it is multiplied with the length, that is 10 raised to power 5. Length is 1.73 micro ohm centimeter. So the resistivity of the conductor material, which is 1.73 micro ohm centimeter, will be written here 1.73 into 10 raised to power minus 6. This is for conversion of the micro ohm into ohm. And then here is the length is 1 kilometer, total overall the 1 kilometer long. So 1 kilometer is to be converted into centimeters, so that is why it is 10 raised to power 5 divided by A is the cross sectional area, and this overall value will turn out to be 0.173 over A. Now there are two conductors, so the total energy wasted per annum will be 2 into I square R into T. T is for the time to account it for the whole year, and I square R are the losses. 2 is for the two conductors. Divided by 1000, it is to convert the units into kilowatt hour. So because price is given in the kilowatt hour, so in this case current capacity of the line is 200 amperes. So 2 into 200 square multiplied by 0.173, that is the resistance, multiplied by 8760, these are the total minutes in a year, divided by 1000 into A, this is the value. So the total energy lost per annum is calculated to be 1.21238 kilowatt hour divided by A. Annual cost of the energy lost will be these are the kilowatt hours. The cost of energy is 5 paisas per kilowatt hour. Total number of kilowatt hours are these. So we will multiply it with the unit rate, rupees 5 over 100, to convert it to rupees, multiplied by the total number of units. The total cost of the energy will be 6062 over A. Now the capital cost of the cable is given in rupees 20 A per meter. Therefore, for 1 kilometer the length of 1 kilometer length of the cable, the capital cost variable is 20A, that is P2A. So rupees 20A multiplied with 1000, that will become as 20,000 A. Variable annual charge is equal to the annual interest and the depreciation on the cable cost of the cable. Because we have also been told the cost of annual depreciation charge amount is to be 10%. So we will account it also. So this total amount will be multiplied by the depreciation cost 0.1, that is 10%, multiplied by 10%. So the variable annual charge will be rupees 2000 A. So this is the equation 2 and this is the equation 1. Annual cost of energy lost and the variable annual charge. So according to Kelvin law, compare them equal and we can calculate the cross-sectional area of the conductor, that is 1.74 centimeter square. Okay. 7.9, which says that a 2-wire feeder carries a constant current of 250 amperes throughout the year. The portion of the capital cost which is proportional to the area of cross section is rupees 5 per kg of the copper conductor. The interest and the depreciation total 10% per annum and the cost of the energy is 5 paisas per kilowatt hour. Find the most economical area of cross section in the conductor. Given the density of the copper is 8.393 grams per cubic centimeter and its specific resistance is 1.73 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 ohm meter. In this case, the total length of the feeder is not given, so we will consider only 1 meter length for simplicity. Let A be the most economical area of the cross section of each conductor in meter square. Cross section has to be taken into meter square. So the resistance of the conductor is R is equal to rho L over A. Rho is resistivity, that is given in 1.73 into 10 raised to the power minus 8, and length is also in meter, and area cross section is also in meter square. Okay, then the total resistance will become 1.73 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 ohms. Energy lost per annum can be calculated as 2I square R into T kilowatt hour, where 2 is for 2 conductors because it is a 2-wire feeder. I square R into TT is for again the time span, that is in our case is the year. So 2 into I square, current is 250 ampere, so 250 square into R, that was calculated here 1.73 into 10 raised to the power minus 8 over A ohm into T 8760, and 1000 is divided to take the calculation into kilowatt hour. So the resultant amount will become this total kilowatt hours energy lost per annum. The cost of energy that is lost can be calculated by multiplying it with its rate, that is 5 paisa per kilowatt hour. So 5 over 100 multiplied by this. So this will result in the total cost of energy that is lost throughout the year is 94717.5 divided by A into 10 to the power minus 8. Now for the other part, that is the capital outlay, we have already said that we have considered only 1 meter of the feeder. So mass of 1 meter feeder is 2 into volume into density, that is 2.A.1 and into 8.93 into 10 raised power 3 kg. 8.93 into gram per cubic centimeter was there, that was the copper density. So we have introduced into kg per cubic meter. So this will be this quantity will become 17.86 into 10 raised power 3 A kg. Capital cost, that is the variable, has been told that that is proportional to the cross section is 5 rupees per kg of the power of the copper conductor. So we will multiply this mass with the total cost rupees 5 and it will yield the total amount to be 89.3 into 10 raised power 3A. There is also a depreciation of 10% per annum. So we will account for it. Variable annual charge is 10% of the capital cost, that is 0.1 into 89.3 into 10 raised power 3A, and this will result in 8930A. For the most economical area of cross section, according to Kelvin's law, variable annual charge is equal to the annual cost of energy lost. So in this case 8930A, that is the variable annual charge, will be equal to annual cost of energy lost that we calculated here to be 94,94717.5 over A, and putting it into equal with this charge, we can calculate the cross-sectional area of the conductor, and that turned out to be 3.25 centimeter square.